All right, we're live once again. The other software did not work. Uh, so, participate. So I have to use the software through YouTube. So I guess I'm not going to be able to put comments in the bottom like I do. I can't remember. That's kind of why I like that other software. But yeah, another Sunday. Fun, fun, fun. It just keeps getting more fun every passing day. After all this weird shit popping up, what the hell was that? All right, we got one there. All right, I guess you guys, if you can see it in the side, will have to read from that. I'm trying to highlight video, display ads, insert ad, share, end stream, top fans. All right, so let's see who. Oh, all right. Yes, happy Easter. And like I said, I have to use the different software here. All right, happy Easter to everybody. I cannot highlight um, engage your audience. Oh, this we have a poll, questions and answers, viewer questions live, and we have polls here. Let's start a poll. Let's not. I feel tired. Been busy all week. I got relatives visiting next week, uh, so I'll be busy all week then. I intend to make a few more videos to put up in that series about the firearms. It appears people like them somewhat, you know, try to shorten them up. But it is getting tougher and tougher to come up with content. And of course, situation with everything is just getting interesting. Put it to you that way. It's getting interesting. Had my insurance change last year, my health insurance, and went to the pharmacy because I was getting stuff at a 90-day supply. So some of that was running out from what I got from last year. And I went to the pharmacy and two of the medications, one my copay increased by 80% and the other one increased by 87%. Needless to say, it was a bit of a shock, and I did not have the money on hand to uh, get a 90-day supply for these two prescriptions, which would have been close to 500, half a C note out of pocket. So I said no. So now I have to go find ways of saving in that, which is a nightmare, and go talk to my doctor, see if I can stop taking this stuff or what it's going to take for me to stop taking this crap. I don't know. So more fun. Always like dealing with these assholes. You know. Then there's the gun laws. All right, thank you, Ira. Then there's also the gun law stuff. I've been trying to find out about the pistol braces. They still sell them as pistol braces or pistol lowers. They still sell the firearms. So I called one dealer who keeps up with all the ATF terminology and that. And, you know, he's retired. He's just a small dealer, but he keeps up with everything the ATF says. Okay. Or he goes to their website and gets all the fine details. He takes time to read it all through. Also, he admitted to me that they keep trying. They would audit him about every other month, just trying to find something that he did. Okay, so they had an excuse to pull his license because he's in his late 70s, getting up there to 80 years of age, and they just want to shut him down. And what he does mostly is he does a lot of my transfers, and that's what he does for people, and considering the fact he's retired, he doesn't have to go anywhere. He just accepts his stuff, does the paperwork, processes, background checks, and all that other stuff. It's not a bad racket, a little part-time money coming in, but they kept trying to shut him down, and he stuck with it. And actually, this last time he renewed his FFL, he said, "I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this." Then something happened that got him all riled up. He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to renew my license, or I'm going to keep doing this. I'm not going to let them force me out of this." So fortunately, and he lives about a mile and a half. So it's simple as hell for me to go over there and get my stuff done and that. So yeah, they tried screwing him, and I asked him. I said, "Well, what is this? Is it?" "I don't care." He goes, "They want to come and arrest me if I got a pistol with a brace, and they think if I'm holding it up and shooting it, and and he goes, I don't. So I said, "Okay." But a lot of people, I think what it is, like I said in the video, it's a gimmick. Now you got all these things out there. Since they're not charging you the tax stamp money anymore, they want you to go and place this in the registry. See, they want a registry. A lot of people are mistaken when you fill those forms out at your dealer. That is not a registry. It's actually against the law to register firearms through purchase. It's the government cannot keep a centralized list of firearms registered. The only registry, there's two registries that exist in a database. One is the National Firearms Act, and that's automatic weapons, sawed-off shotguns, short barrel rifles, silencers, suppressors, and destructive devices. Okay, that is had a registry since 1930 something. The other one is, say you have a break-in and somebody steals a firearm of any type. When you fill out a police report, and this is why you should record serial numbers, because I did have one get stolen. I bought it used from somebody. I never wrote the serial number down. Okay. And then it got stolen and there wasn't, I could report it, but I don't have the serial number written down. I did have a burglary years ago, and I did have all the serial numbers written down of the two firearms that were stolen. Uh, and once you fill out the police report with the serial number, description, model, make of the gun, then that goes into a national registry of stolen firearms. That's why, like, with a friend of mine kind of got arrested for drunken disorderly argument on somebody's front lawn. And when they threw him in the county jail overnight, um, they seen a box of ammo on the seat. And the cop goes, "What's that for?" And he goes, "For the pistol," and locked in the glove compartment. So they took the gun. And then once he paid a fine for being a jackass, got out, all they did, they took that gun, ran the numbers, model and make, it come back clean. And once he paid his fine, they threw him out. They handed him the pistol back and told him to get off the property. So there is no database that any handgun, okay, uh, that I have or find or someone has can be traced. The only thing is, if it was stolen and reported as stolen and the serial numbers was written down, okay, then say you go and buy the thing from someone and you don't know it's stolen, and then somehow, whenever law enforcement runs the numbers and if it's in your possession, you're in trouble. First of all, the gun's gone. Then they're going to ask you, where did you get it? And that's why. So I don't believe that they know you have them, but they're trying to scare you and get you into doing the registration. Now, I don't know. I didn't buy it as a pistol, but you could. I bought it as a pistol lower and put a short barrel AR top on it. But Form 1, one of the subscribers is doing a Form 1. What he did is he had a Scorpion pistol and he got a wire stock to put on the back of it to make it a short barreled rifle. And he went and filed a Form 1. Form 1 is you put the gun together yourself. But these guns are also, I think I bought one. I bought one or two of them that are pistols with a pistol brace. Um, to have it registered with a Form 1, you have to have somebody engrave your name, address, and all this number on the weapon once you get the paperwork approved. I didn't know that. Laser engrave or etch or stamp or whatever into the receiver. Okay, which it's one thing to register it with the serial number, but it's another thing. I really don't want to engrave my name, address, and all this other stuff on it. And that's never coming off. Okay, it's like someone goes, "Well, you could go file a Form 1, have it a Form 1, then tell them that you took the upper off of it and brace and built it into a rifle and have it removed from the registry or something like that." But say I did do that. Say I built an AR pistol and it's got a short barrel and a brace. And I said, okay, I don't want to be with this, so go and put either a longer barrel on there or put an extension, permanently attach an extension, which I can do that too, pin and weld it, pull off that stock, put the other stock on, go, hey, I got a rifle now. Okay, but the weapon is still engraved. Okay, so I kind of just don't want to fool with the stuff. Actually, I've been fooling around with that one retro uh, 1177 or whatever, X11 17. But I did find on a gun broker, because the the flash hider on there is like an inch short. Well, on the gun broker, they've got them to where they're uh, 3 inches, 4 inches, and they have one 5 inch. Okay, or even six. I think 6 inch. You can get a 5 or 6. I think I'd need a 5 because it's 11 something barrel, and they're, I don't know if they're drilled or tapped or something, but there's a hole in them that when you put them on there, you can probably drill down a bit with a drill and cut a pin, push it down in there where it locks it into the divot, and then you tack weld it, and it's pinned and welded. Now, uh, something like that I can get done pretty easy, and then it's a rifle. No more carrying on. It's a rifle. So that may be the way to go. And the headaches and the nonsense, because then I could go and put one of those stocks on there, the 2 position jobs or whatever. Yeah, that would be cool. Ah, so everybody showed up. A happy Easter to everyone. But got an advertisement. Yeah, well, unfortunately, with the increase into my uh, basic extended living, all right, ads are going to be a thing. That's probably the only income I have. Sorry about it, but if I was wealthy and well off, then wouldn't have to do that. Yeah, because they show up every what? Display ads. Let me look at that. I guess I can turn them off for a while. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, it's been fun. So don't have an answer on that. Washington gun lawyer basically said if they wish to enforce it and enforce it as a short barrel rifle, I guess they can do whatever they want. So, yeah, who knows? But that's, yeah, another one. Plus, I don't know how it's going in Virginia. It's horrible what's been going on up there. Uh, and I guess they got some kind of weird rule that the governor don't have to sign the laws. If they sit there so long, they're automatically a law, whether the governor signs it or not. Which, you know, who. All right, so 14 viewers today. I'm sorry I don't have my other software running. That I tried getting on there several times and it just didn't work. And the YouTube software is a little bit different. So you get your top fans or number one. The first person that shows up is a top fan, and then if you've been on this before, I guess it kind of, you got a number two on there. But I'm not going to be able to get out, test any reloads, or maybe do any shooting for another week or so. Then it'll be into the 90s down here, so I'll be able to get out, do some more work. Actually, I did pick up a new gun. Numbers are a ranking of comments. Okay. I did pick up a Hungarian, I had a couple of them. The Hungarian P60 something or other. Let me see. I'll look it up. Do, do, do. Do, do. And, here it is. Details. FEG, AP, MPB. Never heard of that. Yeah, it's the Hungarian. Let me look at pistols, surplus. There's surplus. CNR collectible firearms. See if they have the other ones. Handguns. Surplus pistols. Okay, there we go. Still got the stars out there. And they're down in price, so I don't know if the grade. Okay, there's the FEG. I'm looking for what that other designation of that Hungarian pistol was. They got them French ones there, $900 for the Mac 50s. Wouldn't mind getting one of them, but FEG PA63. Okay, that's what that was. FEG PA63 is what I had a couple of them in 9mm Mac. And the thing about them with the aluminum frames, when you fired them, they'd sting your hands. Okay, that's why I like the Makarov pistols, especially the Bulgarian ones. The steel frame, it's a smooth shooting gun. That aluminum frame, it's like a PPK. It's pretty rugged. I had one that had a spring broke in it. I got it at an auction. I sold that one, but then I wanted to do a video, so I had to go buy another one. And something, when my hands were cold there's something about that gun. I think I had an AD with it, accidental discharge, when I was out shooting it, or something slipped or something, and I just didn't want to deal with it. I guess some of them are made in the 380. 48. Jericho, blah, blah, blah. PA 63 stone. AP7. All right, so that's what I'm getting. It is the same model. AP765. Okay. So, they made one 380. They're producing the Walther PPKE under license from Walther in 2000. All right. It's an interesting gun because it's the scroll on it is strange. Yeah, I mean the PA 63, like I said, I had two of them, and I just didn't like them. I ended up getting rid of them. They weren't expensive. They're like 200 units or $200. I have no idea if I can say anything. I guess that's another thing I didn't know is any of you guys that follow the old black powder guns know Captain Ball out of Hungary. He's been on YouTube forever, and I mean he owns a business and a gun shop. He competes in all these competitions in Europe, with muskets and that. He shoots a lot of original firearms, uh, like I think the Lorenz musket. He was comparing it to the one that Pedersoli makes against an original one. And he has a lot of unusual firearms there. He even made little fulminated mercury tubes for uh, the Austrian guns. I forget what it is. Two blocks. He has a two block set up, and he was firing that, and a lot of other interesting things. They burned him. He had a 2-week suspension. I guess if you roll or make a black powder cartridge like I guess I did a video. I bought some of his to make my paper cartridges for the Cap and Ball revolvers. He makes a cardboard sleeve with a wooden box. Like that's how the 6 rounds were sold. He sent me, I ordered a few from, he sent me extra ones. I got them. So I bought some things from him and basically kind of friends with him. And they suspended him. And they said his company logo or some Ian from Forgotten Weapons, he was trying to contact people and find out what's going on. It's all musketry. There's no 50-round mags or anything being involved in here. And I guess the only person that would help him out was Ian from Forgotten Weapons, told him what to do. And he has to go back and blurt out his company symbol, because the thing that YouTube burns me for is when I say that this product is from this company and I paid X amount of money for it and I think it's great and you should check it out and go there. Or if I say I got this product from this online seller for X amount of money and you should go to their website and check out the things they have, and they have this there at said price. That's a violation. And I think we got Hickok 45 was the sponsors that sponsored him, that he was advertising or their logo was there, sold suppressors and sold other things that are forbidden. And because they are the sponsor of his video, all his videos were nil and void. I mean, they shut his channel down. And we all know he was one of the most popular GunTube channels on YouTube for years. Okay. And if you follow him, he explains what happened to him and how all that happened and what went on. You know, but yeah, you want to say if there's somebody making money, it was him. Okay. You know, he's having people were loaning him automatic weapons and everything else and all that other fun crap. You know, it must be nice for me to sit there all week long at a range and get all these different guns and ammo and stuff and just sit there and shoot it and make videos. You know, he had a ton of subscribers. All right. But yeah, that's what he got burned. So I guess they even went back to cap and ball because the thing I was getting hit with is cast bullets. If I had videos discussing the different lead furnaces, you know, the RCBS I had, and I had a couple Lee ones because Lee makes 2 or 3 different sizes. I had 2 Lee ones, and I was talking about something else, and I was just showing you how you use them and how they cast bullets. They pulled that down. It was from 2013 or something. And they just said, we found this video and we're removing it because it violates our policy. Okay. And what I had to do, and those of you that are members, I just took anything that mentioned cast bullets, anything that showed cast bullets, and I made them all members videos where you have to pay the $3 monthly fee to view them, and it stopped. So I guess the only way that I can make a video on there and talk about a product or casting bullets or making ammunition, I still make the videos, okay, is on a member's video. That's one of the reasons I do it. They don't take them down, okay. Now, you got other people that show reloading, but they are not a partner, they don't have ads, and they are not getting something generated from YouTube or Google. The payment comes from Google is what it is. And that's how it works. But of course, since it's gotten so wonderful to the point that I can't afford my medication, might be in deep shit, you know. Either go bankrupt or succumb to your illnesses. So, you know, that's a choice. I've had several friends and gone to their funerals that, you know, had to face the same situation. And that's just how it goes, you know. So, yep, gonna be a busy week. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to deal with the most vile people on the planet, doctors and insurance companies, and it's not gonna be fun. Yeah. So, what else was there? Not many comments. I can't post them up underneath. That's why I don't like them. But I don't know what the hell was wrong with with StreamYard. I know they've changed several things there. I was trying to get on, and every time I kept trying to go into the studio, it said, there's an error, it's not your fault, but we can't do anything. CZ82. Oh. You know, we can't do anything. And yes, I see we're into the AK stuff again. Yeah, I was going to dig them out. I only kept one. I had a ton of them. Before I was on YouTube, I had a whole pile of them and I shot them all the time, and thousands and thousands of rounds of ammo. And they're AKs. It's back when they're cheap. You know, now they're an exotic weapon, and I know there's a whole following and stuff. Into the U.S. And, you know, yeah, I'll dig them out eventually. I'm going to go shoot the SKS. The reason I got that is because, like the video states, okay, the most common centerfire rifle in the United States of America back in the 70s, early 80s was the Winchester 94. Okay, that was the gun, the highest, or it's the most common gun in the hands of civilians was a Winchester 94. Okay, and by 2000 and something, it became the SKS rifle. I mean, literally, like I said in the video, I walked into a pawn shop during the recession in 2008, 2009, and he had to have 20 of them damn things in the used gun rack. And all of them had a damn dumbass magazine thing stuck in them, and that's why I didn't touch any of them. You know, so the way they are, they're an outstanding gun. I mean, are you going to face a mechanized infantry platoon, 10-round magazines and the stripper clips and a folding bayonet? I mean, that gun as its own, it's obsolete. It's simple. It's an accurate, hard-hitting gun out to 300 yards. Truthfully, that's all you need. Okay, you can carry the ammo if you got the chest pouches. I never liked that. So that one I sold. I sold them years ago. But you could even take just the 30-round mag pouches for the AR and just take the stripper clips and jam them in there, or canvas or rubberized pouch. You stick the strippers in that on a belt, you're ready to go. How many? You can probably mention price there. I don't know how many units or how many rounds a 7.62 by 54 did I shoot? At one time, I had 24 Mosin Nagants in total. The one time, the most I had altogether, and I would have went and I was sighting them in or whatever, and I'd shoot like 20, 30 rounds through them or something. I did go through, well, I had one case, so it's, what is it, 440 in the tins? I had one case of that ball ammo, and I had to have shot 2 other cases of, I had Hungarian, I had different ammo. So in terms of cases, which is 2 of the 10s, 1, 2, 3, and I think 4 the last one. So all right, so it's 880 a case times 4. So 4 of them would be 3,500 rounds of ammo. I probably expended that, just screwing around. No, I take that back because I used to sell some of it. So say 3,000 rounds through 24 guns. I don't know. I think I kept altogether. I kept 7 of them because they kept going up in price and people pay me. I had some nice ones. I had a nice collection of them, uh, and I'd sell them. And some I kept the ones that shot really well too. You know, they vary in wear and all that other stuff. SKS. Yeah, yeah. I had 24 of them at one time. I used to buy 6 at a time from AIM Surplus. Um, I had the ones with the laminated stocks. I still kept one. Those are both good shooters. And, you know, they just became desirable. Hex receiver. And I still got some of the older ones from the 20s. I kept one or two of the round receiver ones from the war, just as a example. Yeah, I had a whole pile of them. That's surplus. That's when you're in the surplus. That's where I made, when they were hot, I made videos on the markings, on the variations, on all that other stuff. And I mean, that's the way you do it. You know, I couldn't really keep that many. That's when I used to go to gun shows and that. And basically, I sold off the ones that were not that cool or beat up or didn't shoot that good. And, you know, sold them off to get something else. Basically, what I did. You know, I would I wish that I was in a position where I could have kept all the things over all these years. I would need another building to store it all in. Okay, you know, that comes into where it starts getting impractical to secure everything when you have an awful large number of things. Um, that becomes impractical. And it's just, you know, like you're asking about the AKs, you know, I think I took that thing out a few years ago and shot it, but there was a period of time, 5, 8 years, I haven't shot them and don't need to. I mean, I put several cases, a few thousand rounds through those guns. Okay. I mean, mag dumps and everything else. It was fun and everything, but you know, I go out there, sighted in, I shoot them, I hit what the hell I shoot at. And, you know, after 20, 30 rounds, you know, want something new, something different. 24,000 units worth these days. What, they're 1,000 a piece? Yeah. All right. Happy Easter. Very accurate. Yeah, but that's the way it goes. I mean, that was the last hurrah, unless you wanted to get. Now, the thing is with the Carcanos, I forget what they were going. They were going for about 100 and something. I bought a stack of them too from a couple places. Uh, and those were, it was nice to find them again. The only problem was the ammunition. Okay. Um, no ammo came with the guns. And I forget when the military stopped making the ammo because somebody mentioned when they used to go to the NATO competitions, they used to go shoot. He said the Italians came with 9141s or whatever, you know, those rifles. And he goes, they would compete. And this is, I think, back in the 50s. And he said they used to pretty much win competitions firing military, you know, your rack rifles. And he said that was ammunition that was quite old. So in other words, they stopped making the ammo for it after a while. And you got 20 years. Military stores all ordnance, small arms ammo, explosives, high explosives, bombs, all of that. 20 years. Then it's considered uh, expired or whatever, and they dispose of it. Either they give it away or destroy it. I knew a guy that he had a job. He was an aviation ordnance man, and he'd have to go and cut the cases of, gravity bombs. He'd cut them open in half and put it on sawhorses, and then he'd light the explosive and burn it to dispose of it. Whatever was in there, C4 or whatever explosive, because C4, you light it with a match and it just burns. You just don't want to smush on it while it's on fire. Something very bad will happen to you. But you can, Marines used to use it to warm their coffee. Take a pinch of it, throw it underneath the cup. It burns. But see, then they either give the stores away, like I'm seeing more. I remember that back in high school in the 70s. That German ammo in the cardboard sleeves. That stuff was made in 1930 something. Okay. That's over 80, 70, 80 years old, almost 100 years old, or 90 years old. I wouldn't shoot that at all. I mean, as a collector's item, it's one thing, but RDX, yeah, I never handled explosives. I know there's all kinds of different types. I had a friend of mine that was in boot camp with me, and I ran into him on a naval base like a year later, and he was going to mineman school. He became a mineman. They had that in Charleston. They had the mine division down there, and he was explaining to me that the school was quite long. I think mine was, what was it? Mine was 10 or 12 weeks. His was like 6 months or something, or whatever. Or no, maybe it wasn't that long. Well, the mine division was down there. That's how I ran into him. And he was explaining to me all the different stuff that they put in them, the explosives and ratios. They use TNT as the baseline, and one is so many times per weight or whatever, so many times more powerful than TNT. I guess it all goes off that. There he is, Teleosaurus. How you going, man? And happy Easter to you too. Yeah, so stuff laying around from the 30s. It'll probably go off, but I think Mike B was testing some 8mm ammo that come out of either Yugoslavia or one of the Eastern Bloc countries. That was only made in the 50s or something, but it must have been stored outdoors or something. And there were duds, there were hang fires, short ones, real long ones, where you go click, like 5-6 seconds, bang, yeah, you don't want to fool with that stuff. It's not worth the risk. Put it to you that way. I mean, everybody wants to save money, but the risk is too high for me. Especially KR. If you're using a KR 98, them things are a grand now, $1,000 a piece. You want to screw up a halfway decent good rifle using shit ammo? Well, yeah, your comment here about surplus market going wild. I don't know. What the economy's bad. They're still having guns and ammo and that on sale. You'd figure it ended, and what's his name from SG Ammo? Oh, prices are going to go up. They have gone up a certain percentage, but they still have these damn sales, and some of them people, they've lowered the price, you know, to move this stuff. They're not selling it. Okay, money's tight. Things are bad. They're still selling rifles, not at the level that it was last fall when I picked up all them ARs and that. I mean, they were going said and done delivered for around $400 or under. Okay, now it's a little more, you know, you're paying for, so you figure with shipping, handling, and everything add. So now that's gone from 4 to 450. Okay, so and I guess we'll wait to the end of the year to see if what happens then, if anybody still got money or anything then at that time. Like I said, I've seen that oddball pistol and they kind of lowered the price, and we'll see what we get. That should be showing up Monday or so. And then there's always the wonderful 5.7 handguns. Uh, the last one I tested, say I don't know. I put Fiocchi ammo in them, and the things somewhat function okay. I don't have any problems with them. Of course, I clean all the factory, Cosmoline or whatever heavy protective lubricant out of them, because I guess now the gun dealers know that the damn things will be sitting on a shelf for a couple of years at a time. And once you get that out of there and clean it and keep cleaning it, like every time I fire it, I fire 40, 50 rounds out of it. I clean it real good, make sure I clean the chamber and that. They work. Okay. But at $41 a box of 50 at the big box store, and I had to buy a case of like 250 rounds, or it's a half case. The cases come 500. So I bought a half case to get that down to 25 50 round box. But when you're spending the same amount of money for ammo as you are for the gun, it kind of gets. And really, I don't see much of an advantage in it. Yeah, it's high velocity in certain circumstances, and probably will create more of a terminal wound type situation than a 9mm. At pistol ranges, yeah, probably, because all the gel block things show them little bullets start whirling around in there pretty swiftly. And, but does it outweigh having a 9? I'd rather have a 9 other than that, just in the cost of the ammo. And I really don't need a pistol to go up against armored targets or to penetrate. If I had to deal with something like that, I have an AR carbine, to do that with. So I don't know, but the influencers tell you it's the greatest thing. It's fun. It is like recoiling, and it's easy to control and accurate, but most of the guns are just huge. I'm going to do a video on that one. And I just don't like getting caught up with the ammo. I went to one gun shop and he was sold out of it all. And I'm like, And the only thing he had was the FN stuff, some kind of, I forget. I paid an exorbitant amount of money, because if he was sold out, I'm wondering, are all of them going to be out of this? And he had a little bit left, and it was, it was $1 a round or more, $1 something a round. And I said, oh boy. Do you have a couple of 30 cal Mill surplus from World War II. Do you mean guns or ammunition? If you mean guns, I have a M1 Garand and I have a 30-06 03 A3 Smith Corona, or is it an A2? It's an A2. Yeah. Smith Corona with a 6-groove barrel. I've had them for a very, very long time. Yeah, I took the Garand out and tested some reloads with it a while back. But yeah, I do have some. But those are pretty common, and I shot them a lot. That's why. Basically, just stuff I was fooling with. I got into the older guns because at one point in time, before it became popular, you could usually find the Swiss guns or the Dutch rifles and that, and you can get them for practically nothing. Nobody knew what they were, or you couldn't get ammo for them, and that's kind of why I went into that. That I was going to do in my retirement as a part-time job, and actually it started to kind of kick off and get there until it just people kind of people didn't want to pay me for my time and effort putting it in there, because they don't realize, like, to gear up or tool up to do it correctly, it's anywhere from $600 to $1,000 out of my pocket, and for me to develop the stuff that works right. Now, to half-ass it and go and blow out a 8mm Lebel piece of brass, and then take a Dremel tool and chop it off, touch it up with a case trimmer, not even measuring what it is. And then, of course, there's always a lead bullet that is somewhat close to the bore diameter, okay, 44 or something, and just cast up some stuff out of, whatever. Stuff it in there with a little bit of gunpowder, and then, he sticks it in single shot, fires it to the side of a hill. Hey, okay. You want to do that? There's the video. It shows you within 5 minutes, there's several easy steps to do it. You don't need to ask me for anything, but if you want it to where the ammunition feeds through the weapon, okay, goes out there, and yes, the bullets I use and made shoot out to 300 meters. They're right on the money. Okay, one bullet I use, the healed one, it shoots high 200 yards. All right, but there was another design I did, and it only works well in the one rifle. I had that, a heavier bullet, and I use a longer case. That thing, I can take that rifle and shoot at 200 yards, a 5-shot group like this. Okay. I don't see anybody else doing that with the let's saw something up and shove a lead bullet on there and just kind of touch it off. But who am I? All right, so we had a good turnout. I don't know if this software or they just get notified better. Had a good turnout of people today, better than any other one. I don't know if they know. Maybe they don't realize that the StreamYard is a damn. Let's see if this Enter Studio. Let's see if this got done. Okay, entering studio. Nope. An error occurred. It's not your fault. Contact us. So much for that. Okay, you never get notified with StreamYard. Do you get notified with when I go on YouTube? Notifications. See, I used to get a lot of. Yes. You take it easy now. Sailor, you take it easy, bud. I used to get all types of notifications, like when supposedly everyone I'm subscribed to, which is a lot of people, whenever they post a video, I'm supposed to get it, but I kind of don't. And also, whenever somebody became a subscriber, every now and again I'll get one. I know I had, like, in the past month or two, I had 180 people subscribe. Well, I never received 180 emails. I may have gotten 3 notifications. And you go in there, and even if I turn them on, somehow they reset or something, or I don't know. Just, but that's why I try to keep everything at one friggin' time here. All right, you just see I'm online. All right. So I don't know. It's all a great mystery on how it works. Well, I may cut it short. I got a friggin' week. I got a week ahead of me. I got a lot of stuff going on. Got out of town visitors. Have to go and straighten out a whole bunch of nonsense. Phone calls and all kinds of other things and that. Yes, I seen that in the video. Have you ever thought about mounting red dot optics on slides so you don't need to be an FFL? Oh, gunsmith work? No. No, if you do any gunsmith work or advertise it and that without the proper licensing, I knew somebody went to gunsmith school. It's the same thing as kind of getting an FFL or something like that. It's a federal license. Yeah, if you get caught doing that, you can, without a license, without an FFL and setting up a proper business, you can get in a world of shit doing that, especially if you're cutting into slides and stuff. No, so I don't need the hassle. I'll go back to the machine shop where you ain't got to get licensed. All right. Thank you guys. Well, like I said, it's been fun. I'll be back again next Sunday, hopefully. I don't know if I'm going to try to use the other software, but I just went back there. It's not working. I guess they want me to pay them money or something. So we may have to go with this here from now on. I do like having, putting the people's comments there. I discussed, but can't have everything in life. All right, guys. Thank you and see you next week.